Now, a lot of people asked us when we first posted this, were you guys looking for a throuple? How do I get in a throuple? You got two men. Don't be greedy. The answer to that question is we weren't looking for it. Were you looking for a throuple?
No,
I wasn't looking for a throuple. I was looking for my next drink. We got the drink package, nice view to take selfies on. I was not looking for a third man, but we were looking at the men. Trust me when I say this is new to us too. Now, in the first video, you guys asked me, how did I get into a throuple? I was married for 3 years and we've been together for 8 years, and then this is someone I've met a couple months ago. 3 people dating each other at the same time ain't the usual. People usually got a side piece. It's called something else, a Sancho, whatever you want to call it. So when we stumbled upon this third person, it was instant chemistry. What would you say?
We clicked.
I'm sorry, what is your name as a group?
The Click.
Okay, so what was my favorite thing about being in a throuple? I remember when we went to Florida for Valentine's Day, and we were talking shit to each other all weekend long. And when I first met Yvonne in college, one of my favorite things is I could shit talk him and he got my sense. Actually, he didn't get my sense of humor. He was like, I'm being mean to him at the beginning. But when I met Chris, he got my sense of humor immediately and he talked shit back to me. And that actually got under my skin. So I was like getting irritated. I was getting mad. But I remember when we went to Florida and we had this foot race, and the first race, Chris would tell you that he beat me, but I would never say that he won in that race. But he may have been in front of me when y'all said the race is over. So the second race, I beat him, and we had a lot of fun. It was very competitive. Yvonne decided he didn't want to run the second race because we were just too quick for him. But my favorite thing about the two of them at the same time is they get me. I feel seen. I really like the feeling of never knowing what you're gonna get from the next person.
I love physical touch. So just being able to always reach over and there is always somebody there I love.
Now, I didn't mean to answer it, but our second question is gonna be, what moment did you realize you were falling for him? What moment did you realize you could probably love this person?
Well, after we got the deed done, the first night, I realized that I didn't want to leave the bed and that I was really comfortable with the two of you. And that's when I fell in love.
All I'm gonna say is we ordered champagne and we went to the balcony, and before I knew it,
The sun was up.
the sun was coming up.
And it was really hot.
Okay, so what was your first impression of Chris?
I love talking to him. Like the conversation with him was really easy.
That's a loaded question because I met Chris while you were asleep. So
I was not asleep. I was passed out in Margaritas.
before I knew it, this is the part where I thought I was gonna get in trouble with my husband.
Meanwhile, I was like this.
So while he's asleep, I'm falling in love with this guy. My first impression is the very first night we met, I fell in love with him. And the old John is like, George, don't say that. Don't you say that online. Don't you tell nobody you fell in love with him. But I fell in love with this person based on who he was, how he acted. So we were actually holding hands for like 2 hours while he was talking to me under the moonlight in the middle of the ocean, talking about like our childhood. But with this person, I was kind of embarrassed to first turn to Yvonne. I think I was the first one to say it. And I was like, I don't know. I'm starting to get feelings for this person. He turned to me and said, I'm thinking the exact same thing.
I
So
was like, thank God that you are feeling the same because I felt so weird.
but we were able to get on the same page. So like I said, before we knew it, we ended up porting back in Miami. Chris didn't end up going back home. He came to the hotel with us, and we ended up spending another night together. And then when we had to say goodbye, we were going back to Texas, and he was going back to work in Florida.
It was so sad.
I didn't cry, he didn't cry, but it looked like Chris wanted to cry too. From that little time spent together, we realized we wanted to be together. So from there on, we kept meeting up in each other's cities every weekend.
Talking on FaceTime.
Talking
every
on
day.
FaceTime every day. I'm
Going
talking
to sleep on FaceTime.
after we go to sleep on FaceTime, we wake up on FaceTime and go to work with each other. We were kissing through the phone on FaceTime. We gave each other New Year's kisses. When I tell you, we was in there deep. But even though it didn't feel like it for us, we dated for 6 months after that. We ate every meal together. We slept together. We even moved in together. And y'all know the gays, they moved pretty quick. Okay, so y'all remember when I told y'all it was 3 of us? So we thought we was going on a cruise, and we came back a whole 3. But because we met on a cruise, we had to ask ourselves, was this even real? Well, boy, do I have news for you. I wasn't ready to talk about it before, but our throuple went back to being a couple. When I tell y'all, nobody saw this coming. Because we went from this to breaking up and never speaking again. But ain't that the whole point? Walk with me, walk with me. Walk. I don't think I'm gonna wear this hat. But how many times in life have we got torn up out the frame and then bounced back to something that made sense later though? I ain't gonna hold y'all. I met this person in the middle of the ocean. Not to mention, I was already married. I thought I already found my soulmate. So did my husband. But this was somebody that came through and had some swings. He rocked our shit. And I think we rocked his. When I look back on the pictures, it makes sense that we were all laughing, smiling, and dancing and shit. Now, I'm not gonna hold you. It took me like 3 weeks to get here. This was a messy breakup. Your boy was down bad. This person completely stopped talking to us, ghosted us, said, see you, wouldn't want to be here. But life don't stop there. It just restarts there. I was able to learn things about myself. Like, I found out I'm an avoidant. Now, I don't think I would have learned this about myself if I didn't meet Chris, who is also another avoidant. While we were dating, all the things that he did to drive me crazy, it turns out I was doing them to other people in my life. Now, when it comes to our marriage, we also learned together a little bit more about what we like. My husband and I, we're polyamorous. So I guess this is us coming out for the second time. But what about you guys? This is one of our first videos where we've ever answered questions from the comments. So if y'all want more stories like this,
Comment below
and let us know. Drop them down below. I'm John.
I'm Ivan.
Thanks for watching another episode of Cousin Confidential.